Prime Minister Andrew Holness has said the mass murderer in Waltham Park will be found and will either meet a judge or meet their maker. Man taken into custody for rape, Glenmuir High and Jamaica College clash in Saturday's final for the Champions Cup. This is Undiluted News, Mikey Bones reporting. The St. Anne police have taken a man into custody after he and another man were reportedly caught raping a woman on Tuesday. The man was captured following a shootout with the police at Waltham Park in Ocho Rios. The 21-year-old suspect is now facing charges of abduction, rape, grievous sexual assault, and shooting with intent. And it's reported that shortly after midnight on Tuesday, the 33-year-old victim went to Margaritaville in Ocho Rios. Investigators said she was standing at the entrance of the property when a motorcar stopped with two men aboard. A man who had been sitting in the passenger seat came out of the car, brandished a knife, and grabbed the complainant from the neck, forcing her inside the back of the vehicle. The car then drove off in the direction of the Ocho Rios bypass. The woman was then taken to Marvin's Park, where she was raped. While the woman was being sexually assaulted in the vehicle, a police patrol vehicle drove up and ordered the passengers to exit the vehicle. The woman exited the vehicle and told the police officers that she had been abducted and was being raped. The police attempted to accost the men when one of them jumped back into the vehicle, pulled a firearm, and opened fire at the police. The officers took evasive action and returned fire, but the suspect sped off and escaped. The other suspect was then taken into custody. The woman then was brought to hospital for treatment. A British national who was arrested in September at the Sangsters International Airport in St. James with 1.5 pounds of cocaine concealed in two pairs of slippers was fined 750,000 Jamaican dollars in total when he appeared in court on Wednesday. Glenn Mason, 53 of London, England, entered a guilty plea to the charges of cocaine possession, cocaine dealing, and cocaine exporting at the St. James Parish Court. According to investigators, on September 30, Mason was getting ready to board an outbound flight when security guards stopped him. Cops then found cocaine hidden in a pair of slippers while searching his luggage. A businessman was killed during a home invasion in Enfield in Anota Bay, St. Mary on Wednesday evening. He has been identified as 71-year-old Winston Williams of the Border Villa community. It's reported that about 7:55 p.m., a group of men forcibly entered the victim's residence and opened gunfire, hitting him in the upper body. Mr. Williams died at hospital while undergoing treatment. Three other persons in the house were able to escape unharmed. Meanwhile, fear and uncertainty currently grip communities in a section of Waltham Park Road in St. Andrew, where 5 men were shot dead moments after the murder of another young man on Monday evening. The first man killed was identified as 25-year-old musician David Martner. The others are 46-year-old Robert Henry, 48-year-old Ricardo Campbell, 53-year-old Ezra Edwards, and 55-year-old Michael Edwards. The reality of having 6 people murdered in their midst in less than 24 hours had shaken relatives of the deceased and residents who on Tuesday expressed anxiety about the future of their community, which is being plagued by gang violence. Responding to the multiple killings, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who along with Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Horace Chang and Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake visited the community and then issued a stern warning to the killers. The Prime Minister said the persons who committed this act, mark my word, you'll be found and you'll either meet a judge or meet your maker. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake said a special team of investigators have now been assigned to track down those responsible for the killings. 1 man is dead and 2 other people hospitalized after they were shot at their house in Hibernia District in Manchester on Wednesday night. The deceased has been identified as Evan Gibson, a laborer of the community. It's reported that about 10 p.m., someone purporting to be the police went to the back of the house and called Mr. Gibson. When he opened the door thinking it was a policeman, he was shot. 2 other occupants of the house who went to investigate were also shot and wounded. They are now in hospital nursing gunshot wounds. The St. Andrew South Police are probing the murder of a couple along Pacific Boulevard in Seaview Gardens, St. Andrew, yesterday morning. The couple who operated a hardware in the community was shot by gunmen about 10:35 a.m. They have been identified as 49-year-old Fabian Edwards and Etta Midget, believed to be an American citizen. As of November 23, the St. Andrew South Police have recorded 107 homicides, and that entire area is hot like a hot stove. And with the amount of people getting killed if people were not getting deported back to Jamaica, the population by now would probably be less than 1 million. Onto sports in Walker Cup yesterday, Excelsior clipped Wolmer's 2-0 while Mona edged St. Andrew Tech 1-0. So now for the finals, Excelsior will face Mona in what is going to be a very good game next Saturday. Meanwhile, in Champions Cup, defending champions Glenmuir High and Jamaica College are into tomorrow's final of the Champions Cup. Glenmuir booked their place after a come-from-behind 5-1 drubbing of debutant Ocho High on Wednesday in the first game of a doubleheader at the National Stadium. Glenmuir, who defeated Clarendon College in the final last season, had 5 different scorers. And in the second semi-final, former champions Jamaica College defeated Heidel 1-0. So tomorrow, JC will clash with Glenmuir for the Champions Cup. By the way, JC goalkeeper was suspended for 3 matches for basically doing nothing wrong by Issa on Saturday in their game against McGrath. He was booked by the referee for handling the ball outside the goal area and was given a straight red card. However, video footage shows he was inside the goal area and did not commit any infringement and should not have been given a red card. Then when he went to the change room, he said to have used a bad word and calling the referee a thief. And you can just imagine how he was feeling, because what else could he have called the referee? I see no other name that he could use, especially under the circumstances when it boils down to a semi-final or a quarter-final game. The referee could have consulted the linesman if he was uncertain, not give a red card, or was this done to give advantage to the opponent? And this is what is being debated at the moment, that there is a plot to knock JC out of the competition. On the Caribbean Cup, defending Ray and Nephew Jamaica Premier League champions Cavalier will go into the final of the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup against Cibao FC with a 1-0 advantage after victory in the first leg at the National Stadium last Tuesday. Surinamese Shaquille Stein, who plays for Cavaliers with his 8th goal of the campaign in the 20th minute, was the difference between the teams on that night. Although holding a slim advantage, head coach Rodolphe Speed is confident that Cavaliers will finish the job in the Dominican Republic next Tuesday. And if you missed the news on this station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamerican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe. That's news and sports on your favorite radio. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.